Yo, uh, I don't know what I'm gonna talk about today. Um, I know what I can talk about. I was gonna start a job. Yesterday was my first day. I was working at a car dealership, and I was a salesman. Now, turned out I'm not gonna be able to work that job because it needs too many hours. It was like 40 plus. And I just don't have the ride situation to be able to get to work and back that often. Um, but there were two things I want to talk about. One thing is something that I haven't experienced since like school age. Well, I mean, I'm sure I've experienced it in other jobs and just not been able to recognize it for what it is. But it's this like cool guy, you're not as cool mentality that goes on in our world. Um, and so right here, there's a branch. There's the anger branch and the holy branch. The anger branch says to depict these men, to say what they were like and why. But the holier side says to just explain what was going on. So what was going on was the guy that was training and one of the other guys that was there getting trained were cool guys. And so a lot of times when I would do something, they'd laugh. Even if it was something that they might do or not even a big deal, they would laugh like, oh my God, this guy. You see? Um, and it's kind of strange. They were black. Uh, and growing up, I considered myself black because for white people, I was as good as black. But around black people, I didn't act like them. So I couldn't fit in with that. I wasn't cool enough. I acted like a little white kid. So now I'm in a position of being an adult male. I put on my suit, I go to work, and what am I dealing with? These same black children. Cool subset of people that look down on you because you're not as cool as them. Okay, so that was one part of the job. But there was another part that was really nice. There was another girl that started at the same time as me. You know, in high school, it was like I couldn't fit into any group. I was just alone. You see? Um, there was a girl that started on the same day as me, and we had our own desks, and her desk was diagonal from mine, but the dividers of the cubicles were see-through. So the whole day, we were sitting there like basically face to face, and every once in a while she'd look up, and every once in a while I'd look up. It was kind of cute, and every once in a while we'd meet, and there was I mean, we looked at each other a lot. She was cute. Um, there was two women and a little girl there. They might have been lesbian lovers. I don't know. It's not my place to judge, but they had this beautiful little girl there, blonde hair, blue eye little girl, and this girl that I worked with was taking care of that. I don't know if they were a couple or what. Maybe sisters. I don't know. But She was taking care of them, and she was holding that little girl's hand, and it was like, damn, that's so motherly. Like, that's the type of shit that turns a nigga on nowadays. That sounds so wrong, but you see what I mean. Compared to, like, the shit that would have turned you on when you were just trying to fuck bitches. Like boobs and ass. Nah. You know what turns a nigga on nowadays? What makes a nigga want to snatch one up nowadays? She's motherly. She can tenderly hold a child's hand. Like a good woman. Talk to children. You know what I mean? That's what you start looking for in a woman. Once you get up there. Maybe you just gotta be a man yourself. Become a man yourself. And then you stop wanting what a boy wants. Success and bitches and cars and fancy things. All that stuff a boy wants. You let go of that, you become a man. You say, I want a woman who can take care of some kids. Damn. Last night was like hell. I don't get on Instagram much anymore. I got a flip phone, so I try not to be on that shit. But last night I got on and some dude said some shit, and I got in an argument with some dude, and I just like, I hadn't done that in a little bit. But that shit fucked me up. And I was sitting there afterwards. I left the group chat that I was fighting this nigga in. Turned off Instagram, put down my phone, and I was just like sitting in bed with my fucking... You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know what to do. I couldn't lay down. I couldn't watch TV. Nothing was okay. I started even thinking about my faith. Like, what if I'm wrong? I mean, is that a blow or what? But it was okay in the end. God has a way of making things okay when you really need it. All in all, I don't fit in with black people, and I'm not white enough to be a white person. So where does that put me? Alone. In society's eyes. Luckily enough, I have God. Like, that is just a sentence that I just said, but it is so much more than that. I can't live in this world without him. It is just not my place. I don't fit in. We live in this system, and it's got gears and whistles, and I'm supposed to be a gear, and I just don't fit. And I'm not afraid to say that anymore, because this system is corrupt. It's the beast system. It's the enemy. I'm leaving this. I'm gonna get a wife. I'm gonna wife up something. I'm gonna go out into the woods. I'm gonna make a bunch of babies. And that's gonna be the life of Bailey Potts. That's gonna be the legacy he leaves. I'm gonna build some houses on some lands across the nations. At least in Alaska. That's my first stop, Alaska. I really want to have a piece of land in the Appalachian Mountains, because I grew up going to my grandpa's cabin up there, and I didn't live too far away. I got all this green. I live here in Georgia. It's my natural habitat. So I want a piece of land in the Appalachian Mountains as well as Alaska. And then from there, I'm thinking, because that's 2 places in America, but Alaska's far off. If anything went crazy on the mainland, I'd be out in Alaska. But I'd like to have some land out in like Norway, those Icelandic regions, and put a little house down right there. I don't know how difficult it is to get citizenship with something like that. And I don't know how expensive land would cost out somewhere like that. But I want to have places around the world that my descendants can go to. Each little place, it might have a boat, might have a car, might have some hunting equipment, might be set up for animals, goats, chickens. My descendants can go to these places and even live there if they want to, self-sustainably, for as long as they want, if that's their desire. That's what I want to set up for my children, and my children's children and their children. These places across the world. I don't think I'm going to fight society anymore. I don't think there's a reason to fight. I mean, who are you fighting for? Society itself, and I just don't fit in. I thought I'd be standing up for Christ by going into politics and doing all that stuff and fighting the system. I had all these visions, carrying crosses, having a group of men carrying crosses, all of us together, showing Christ is alive in the Bible Belt. Christ is still alive in the Bible Belt. I had these visions, and I'm just starting to feel like maybe it's just alone time is all I need, and maybe those visions were just a part of accepting that this place is just not. There are things that I could do, and I'm a good guy, and those were those visions were showing me, hey, look, this is what you want. You don't want a car. You want to carry a big ass cross. Maybe that's all those visions were. Maybe I don't actually have to carry it. Maybe I can just leave. I'm a child of God. And the world treats me like a piece of shit. Treats you that way too. And if you're confused and you just watch this video and you don't know why, I'd say tonight, when you lay your head down on your pillow, just say in your head, Jesus, can you talk to me? Jesus, would you talk to me? You might not answer right then. You might not answer with words. But what you have to do is you have to extend your arm. because he's been there. He's been there, right like this. Like, please, will you please say something? So tonight, say something. Reach out that arm. Say, God, Jesus, are you there? Jesus, can you help me? I don't want to be here. This is not my place. You know, that's all it is. See if he responds. He will. In his own time, when he's ready. However he sees fit. Just let him. Say, Jesus, will you talk to me? That's all he's waiting for. It's not some crazy thing. Try it.